Welcome, dear viewers, to this special, exclusive live interview on Al-Arabiya with Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, Mr. Mohammed Ishaq. There are questions about what the real agenda of these talks is, and about the stalled timetable. With which stages will they begin, and with which topics?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You know that on 28th of February, Iran was attacked by Israel, and Pakistan condemned that attack. Within hours, then Iran also started attacking Gulf countries and US bases. So Pakistan took initiative to try and convince both parties to come on the table and start dialogue, because dialogue and diplomacy is the only way forward. Because the conflict takes place. So we eventually managed and became successful. First we got the ceasefire done, and then on 10th and 11th of April there were 21 hours of long marathon session between US and Iran in Islamabad. It was 21 hours continuous dialogue with 6 rounds and intervals for consultations. And after that, they decided to go back to their capitals and discuss further with their leadership. US was represented by Vice President J.D. Vance. He was accompanied by Mr. Steve Witkoff and Mr. Jared Kushner. On the Irani side, they had the Speaker of Iranian Assembly, Mr. Ghalibaf, and Foreign Minister, Mr. Abbas Araghchi, as well as the National Security Committee Secretary. So those parleys were first time direct talks between United States and Iran after 47 years. So Pakistan was asked to be witness if it is going to be direct talks. So Pakistan was represented by myself, the Field Marshal, head of Defense Forces, Chief of Defense Forces, and National Security Advisor. So things moved on. A lot of discussion was positive, but it could not be conclusive, and they had to go back, and they went back. But we did not give up hope, and we continued to convince both sides for de-escalation, for exercising restraint, and eventually you saw that 18th of this month, just 3 days ago, the final signing of Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding has taken place. You see, during this period, Pakistan has been, right from day one, has been very, very, active. Not only we were mediating between United States and Islamic Republic of Iran, we were also keeping our allies, our friends in the region connected with us. And in that process, we saw that a regional forum has been created, which is Pakistan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. The 4 countries, side by side, we were dealing with other Gulf countries, be it Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, and also international partners, European Union, then Canada, then Australia, Japan, China. So Pakistan has been making all the efforts for the sake of regional peace and security. You saw the consequences of this conflict in a very short time was horrific. The energy supply chain was disrupted. The prices of energy products shot up to sky, and the inflation triggered. Estimated 20 to 25% global GDP has been lost. So you see, this has been a humongous job. Now, coming to your question, this is a little background that what is happening now. The Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Shehbaz Sharif, early hour reached Burjan Stock, and Field Marshal Sayyid Asam Munir and Pakistan Foreign Office team is there, and the US team is also there, and the Irani team is also there. Now this is basically, I would say, the phase 2. Yes. There are 3 technical groups. One to deal with nuclear issues vis-a-vis Iran. Second is about sanctions and defreezing of assets. And third one is Lebanon. You see, the Lebanon issue has been erupting time and again because these parleys which are starting today in Switzerland, Bergenstock, could have started few days earlier, but because of Israel attack on Lebanon, actually derailed everything and stopped everything. So the progress has been, but now it has started. We are very hopeful that things will progress. They have, for certain items, they have 30 days to conclude, but the bulk and overall conclusion of the final deal, the timeline is 60 days, 60, and this can be mutually extendable. So I think it is very important to see how the progress takes place and hope, because we have seen already the dividends of this peace. You know, the prices of energy has come down. The ships had started moving. We had, apart from its facilitation role and facilitator, its own very clear mind that the Hormuz should be restored to pre-28th of February when the conflict started, which means no government, no fee, no toll. So the 60 days, it has been now guaranteed, during which they will work out with the regional countries, on this subject they will finalize.
The text in the Memorandum of Understanding talks about the resumption of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz for only 60 days. After that, the rest of the text is unclear about whether there will be communications between the Sultanate of Oman, the littoral states, and Iran.
They will finalize on Hormuz. The US blockade will be lifted, which is being lifted. Iran side will not stop ships and will ships to pass, and according to our information, ships are passing since 18th of June after signing of this agreement. Now, Pakistan position, as I said, has been very clear in the beginning. On 31st of March, at the invitation of Foreign Minister of China, I visited Beijing. We discussed the minimum agenda, common proposal. It was 5 points peace proposal for the Middle East. And it had 1 point, Hormuz. And we both agreed that there should be no fee, no permission, no permits, no toll, no additional charge, whatever you name it. And it should be free movement, sea lanes should be freely moving both sides. And this was our, and then I would say that following President Trump's visit to China, the White House statement which came out also, repeated what China and Pakistan had announced, that the Hormuz movement should be free from any toll or permissions. So I hope, this stays, because, the energy crisis, everybody has seen it has increased of the prices shot up by 80%. Yes. So now they have come down drastically. Even a country like Pakistan, we suffered a lot. Pakistani people suffered a lot. The government of Pakistan gave huge billions of rupees subsidy for 3 weeks. We tried not to pass the price, but then we had no choice but to pass the price. But now we have reversed. The moment it came down, every penny has been passed to the consumer.
You said there would be no fees. You used the word fees, while Iran says these are not transit fees, but service fees. How should we understand that? No charges at all, neither transit nor service fees?
Well, according to my interpretation, there should be no fee. No matter what you call it, service fee, toll, or fee, whatever it is, or service charges, our understanding is there should be nothing. It is status before 28th of February should be restored. So under that status quo restoration of the status, then there should be no fee. This is our understanding. This is the global understanding. But let's see, 60 days at least are there, free movement, and according to our information, the ships are moving both sides. Even I was told, one of the Gulf countries, the foreign minister is here. 6 ships moved in last 24 hours of that country.
This memo succeeded after Pakistani efforts that went on day and night. There is a major problem facing this issue, namely the disputes or confrontations between Israel and Hezbollah. These ongoing clashes make the ceasefire extremely fragile and liable to collapse at any moment. This certainly creates significant pressure on the main mediator, the Pakistani mediator. Do you have any guarantees from the American side that Israeli behavior will be contained so that the negotiations do not collapse?
You see, the facilitator or mediator role is to keep trying, making efforts. There were points where things looked like that won't be concluded, but we never gave hope. We continuously, led by Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Muhammad Shahbaz Sharif, and Field Marshal Sayyid Asim Munir, Foreign Ministry of Pakistan, Interior Ministry of Pakistan, we worked like a team. And eventually we managed to get what we got. If you think independently, there are spoilers who never wanted this deal to happen. And the moment this deal was signed, we saw that there was heavy bombing in Lebanon. So this is something which actually is to provoke the parties to give a pause, don't move. I think the wisdom has to prevail. If they realize that this is the objective, I think they should try all the tools. The board community should convince and persuade and influence Israel not to do what they're doing. Because you see, the international law and order has been weakening. You see, where the resolutions are adopted and passed and implemented, thank you very much. But those who don't, then there is no action. The UN Security Council system, which is meant for peace and security, seems to be not fully functional because Jammu and Kashmir, there are dozens of resolutions of the UN Security Council. The plebiscite is due in Jammu and Kashmir. There's the curfew, and there's no political freedom, and total law and order is missing there. So this sort of gives us an example. And the second example is Gaza. There has been so much done. Last year, September 2025, UN the General Assembly session annual, September, on the sidelines, 8 countries, 5 Arab and 3 Islamic countries, Turkey, Pakistan, Indonesia, they met President. Look at the bloodshed in Gaza. The innocent lives are being killed every day, and hundreds of people are martyred. So the understanding was that, okay, then give us some solution. He gave his team, led by Mr. Steve Witkoff. The other 8 countries, they gave their teams. All foreign ministers were there. I was there. And we came up with proposals, which eventually the United States announced, this 21-point peace plan. But that was followed by Board of Peace signing. That was followed by International Stabilization Forces. But this conflict has actually overshadowed what had to be done with Gaza and Palestine. And meanwhile, Israel started, creating problems even West Bank. So in today's meeting, my colleagues and brothers from Foreign Minister of Egypt, Turkey and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we agreed that we should revive that Gaza-Palestine issue as well. And we should make all the efforts. It's called Group of 8 Arab Islamic countries. So we are going to revive that effort as well, because this conflict seems to be now, ended, hopefully, inshallah, and then the other things will be sorted out in the next 60 days.
But I want to return to the Memorandum of Understanding. We have a single text for this memorandum, but we have multiple interpretations regarding the uranium issue, which was an extremely difficult challenge for you, and you exerted great effort on it, including in Pakistan. Iran has pledged not to possess a nuclear weapon, but the answer is vague when it comes to its uranium stockpile. What will happen to Iran's uranium stockpile?
Well, the two things are in your question, madam. One is R4. R4 has a platform, four countries, Egypt, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey. We are constantly in touch with each other. It is not a bloc. It is four brotherly countries forum. We frequently talk to each other, all the four foreign ministers, assess the developments, take suggestions of each other, how we move, because we were in the lead role as a facilitator and mediator. That's number one. But this bloc in the long run has a lot of scope, because this is a bloc which has about 500 million population. This is a bloc which connects us to the South Asia, to Red Sea, to Mediterranean, to Africa. So I think they have scope in enhancement of trade, mutual trade, economy, security and defense, and they have cultural and people-to-people exchanges programs to be promoted. So this is number one. Number two, your question about President Trump question of about stockpile. He uses the word nuclear dust. So about this stockpile. So this nuclear dust, there has been a lot of negotiations in Islamabad on 10th and 11th of April. The positions which developed over 21 hours, Iran was flexible to talk. It was at that time a question of US demand that they wanted to take it away. Iran was not willing to give it to US, the stockpile. But the neutral thing is that it can be down blended from its over 60%, claimed 60%, the stockpile, nuclear stockpile which they have, very enriched high grade. It can be down blended. I talked to DG, Director General Mr. Grossi of IAEA. Down blending to 0.7, the quantity has to be agreed, but right now it is in rubles. So as long as it's not started being discovered and pulled out, it is already settled, and the Irani facilities have been bombarded. So I think this stockpile can be. This is one of the three main groups, technical groups, which have started working from today. And one is nuclear, the second one is sanctions, and the third one is Lebanon, what you said.
For you, as a seasoned diplomat, these negotiations meant dealing with two extremely difficult parties. The Iranian side is always described as a tough, highly skilled negotiator that hardly ever makes concessions and tends to drag out the talks. And the American president? I mean, he might change his mind from time to time, speak to the media a lot, and that may have spoiled certain things. How did you deal with two negotiating teams that were this difficult?
Well, it is always difficult to deal with, and particularly, they had more than 4 decades of sanctions, Iran, and undoubtedly they're very intelligent. So are the United States people, and President Trump was overseeing himself. So we have been basically convincing both sides, because you see, at the end of the day, conflict and confrontation takes you nowhere. No matter how big wars you fight, at the end of the day you have to sit on the table, talk, dialogue, and then find a way, diplomacy. So that's what we have been working very hard, and we are grateful to both countries. The leadership of United States, led by President Trump, and the leadership of Iran, led by President Pervez Peshkian and Foreign Minister and Speaker of Iran. They have been working with complete sincerity with us. The last 10 miles of the 100-mile journey is as difficult as the 50 miles, equals to 50 miles. So you see these now dialogues and these technical discussions, we hope, we pray, and we will make full effort. And all our friendly countries, they will also make full efforts to take them to a logical conclusion, because the conflict, war, and disputes take you nowhere. You know, your country suffers. They see its impact on poverty, its impact on GDP growth, its impact on per capita income, its impact on people's normal lives. So we have seen even these few weeks conflict. The prices shot up and energy supply disrupted. Thanks God, in Pakistan we managed that there was no shortages like few countries. There are no queues, but we had to work very, very hard under the leadership of Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif to make sure it doesn't happen. But we did also felt the heat. So I think we have to continue to work with the same passion and same effort.
Does the ghost of war returning haunt you personally from time to time? Because some say that the Memorandum of Understanding did not provide a solid basis for reaching a final agreement. Do you agree with this view?
Well, let's hope for the best. We have to be sincere to the cause. Pakistan has no personal vested interest. We did our the entire action with complete sincerity, and we prayed to Allah as well to give both sides wisdom and foresight to realize what has been happening. So I'm born optimist, and I have a full faith that with our efforts, with global community, with the brotherly countries' support, these two countries will reach a final deal. They are tough negotiators, both sides, but I think the involvement of Pakistan as mediator, word over, I think, in the brotherly countries, particularly of the GCC and South Asia, Europe, you name it, and they're all there, because everybody suffered. So I think I'm very hopeful that first final deal will be very positive.
Qatar also played a supporting role alongside the Pakistani mediation. You were the main mediator, but how was the coordination between you and the Qataris, especially in the final hours?
Well, you see, the Qatar is a brotherly country, like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan. They're all brotherly countries. Pakistan always enjoyed best of best relations, and Qatari leadership, His Highness the Amir and His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed, the Prime Minister, they have been constantly in touch with us. We have been in touch with everybody. And I must say that they also made double efforts with us particularly in the last rounds. And after 11th of April, they activated very heavily to convince both sides as well. So Pakistan has been lucky to have brothers like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, other Gulf countries, even I would say the China and America. They all supported. This is something was unique. I haven't received any call from anywhere, on the globe. During India-Pakistan war, I talked with my counterparts around 61. In this conflict of US-Iran since 28th of February, I have talked with my colleagues almost 150 times, 250% more than how much I was busy then. You can imagine, this is the sincere diplomatic efforts we made, and God has been very kind, and sense prevailed, and parties realized that dialogue and diplomacy is the way forward.
Some of the speculations about the memorandum are incorrect. There is negative propaganda against this memorandum, especially in the United States. However, what is stated in the memorandum has a specific meaning. Could you explain to us, regarding the issue of sanctions on Iran, what exactly is going to happen?
Ma'am, you see, one of the three technical groups is dealing with sanctions. And on the 11th of April, after 21 hours, we have reached somewhere, although that is not relevant now, but we have discussed sanctions, we have discussed stockpile, we have discussed number of years ban for civil nuclear, we have discussed how to deal with the nuclear dust, everything was discussed. But now I think we have to now see this new document. This new document basically has been divided into two phases. The phase one is completed and it's been signed. Nobody should doubt in the intentions of the signing parties. And we have no doubt that they are sincere, they want to move forward. And now that, the question that how much, saying that there are certain things which are not, I think that what I understood from the translation, that perhaps there's some sort of question mark raised. No, I have, the copy of the document, and I shared today with the Foreign Minister of Egypt, Foreign Minister of Saudi Arabia, and Foreign Minister of Turkey. So they have the copies, and professionally, we don't see anything which is negative in this memorandum, Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, and we should not doubt that going ahead there will be any negative play by any party. About the sanctions, is very clear now that the sanctions will be co-discussed and probably co-decided with the nuclear issues and the Lebanon issue, because the Lebanon has to be also in peace. So I think this nuclear matters in this phase of 60 days. I hope they complete their work in 60 days. Otherwise, it can be extended mutually. It is part of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. So hopefully, these things. But right now, no sanctions immediately being lifted, which means no assets are being defrozen. So this is the main, one of the main area which they will be dealing with, nuclear and sanctions.
Does this mean that lifting the sanctions will be tied to reaching the nuclear agreement?
Well, you see, it depends on what both parties decide. But I can't repeat what had been agreed by 11th of April, because that will be unfair. Because we as facilitator, Pakistan as facilitator, as mediator, has never leaked, has never shared anything which we handled. So we were part of the main 21 hours dialogue. We know what discussed, where we reached. Parties went. They had some different approach later on. But the trust and faith has to be without any question mark. And we are very sure that things, as these things have improved and situation has changed positively, it will further progress. And I hope that they can do and complete in 60 days. But this is not very clear, as per this document, that sanctions and nuclear issues are coupled. And unless they decide a different phasing, that's again dual. But Iran was happy to downblend, its nuclear stockpile. They were not resistant. What will happen eventually? The number of years, civil nuclear ban, that was also discussed. But now I think it will be unfair to speculate or to say what will happen. I know what happened up to 11th of April morning, but now we have a new MOU because both parties had certain issues. Because once they decided it will be in two, at that time it was phase one only, in one document. Right now it's two phases. So I think we have to be a little patient and work hard to get the final positive result.
Can you reveal some of the behind-the-scenes details about what was happening in the communications during those final hours? Because we saw the agreement being signed in a very dramatic way. At first, it seemed it would be a traditional signing. Then it shifted to an electronic signing, and then it turned into 3 separate signings: the US president alone, the Iranian president alone, and Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif alone. Why did this scene unfold like that? Why did it end up in this unconventional form, instead of the usual image of 2 parties sitting together and signing face to face?
There are different mechanisms to complete anything. Initially, it was agreed that it will be initialed And after the initial, both parties initial, Pakistan will initial, and at that time, it was conceived to be at least like 11th of April, Mr. J.D. Vance and Speaker of Iran will, and Pakistan will witness as mediator. But subsequently, it was agreed that on 19th, perhaps we meet and but then for the purpose of expediency and saving time, and which is appreciable, President Trump was in France. So 18th night, President Trump signed, followed by Irani president signing electronically, and then the document was signed in Pakistan by Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif. So that completed the document. All three parties have that document, and as I said, I shared that document with Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey today. So there is no harm. That's why the function of 19th of June became irrelevant or redundant. Even that is fine, as long as the work is done. We should all celebrate and be happy and thank Almighty Allah.
It has become existing, and there is an understanding, but the last question may be asked. Are there understandings under the table outside of this memorandum, or is everything that has been communicated public in this memorandum?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Whatever has been agreed so far, this document has dozens of shuttling through Pakistan. One side giving us a proposal, draft, Pakistan sending states proposing amendments, going back to Iran, and these shuttles are taken place almost less than a dozen times. So this is a very well thought out document, acceptable to both parties, facilitation, but it was our responsibility. Many great friends, foreign ministers, my colleagues, have been asking earlier sharing of this interim document, but that was not possible because a mediator is responsibilities like a trustee, and you cannot neither divulge nor share anything which we did not. But now, since it's done, it's a final document, so we have happily shared with my colleagues.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.